Welcome to the Powerlifting Belt Guide. If you're trying to figure out which IPF-approved belt is right for you, this video breaks it down. We'll be going over 4 belts: the Wahlanders Prong Belt, the SBD Lever Belt, the Oni NX Lever Belt, and the Oni Lever Pro Belt. Before we start, it's worth mentioning that all of these belts are IPF-approved belts and are used by lifters on the international platform. There's also good non-IPF-approved belts, such as the Pioneer Belt, but in this video we'll only be discussing IPF-approved belts. We'll be comparing the belts based on build and feel, adjustability, support, use case, and overall value. We're starting off with one of the OGs and still one of the best belts out there, the Wahlanders belt. This is a handmade prong belt from Sweden, and it's a testament to leather craftsmanship. And it's one of the few prong belts that is still used at the elite level. And actually, it's also the only handmade IPF-approved belt. So it's still made by hand by Yngve Wahlander, and he makes all of the belts in Sweden by himself. The belt has a prong system, still used by many of the older belts, but with the Wahlanders it's a quick release system, and that makes it super easy to get on and off. You just pull on the quick release and it comes loose. Whereas with other prong belts, you really have to kind of wrestle with the belt to get it off, because it can be really tight if you do it properly. What also makes it unique is that it comes in a standard and soft version. What is the difference, you might ask? Well, the standard version is your typical leather stiff belt, whereas the soft version is also from leather, but it has a more flexible and soft feel, which can be really nice for lighter lifters that don't want to be constricted too much. The soft version looks identical to the standard version, but it's slightly lighter and more flexible. And that makes this version conform more to your body and makes it easier to tighten. And it feels more forgiving without sacrificing the support too much. I find myself picking the soft version for the bench press, whereas for the squat and the deadlift, I like the standard version. One of the big benefits this has over many lever belts is that it molds better to your body. Whereas popular lever belts such as the SBD belt leave some room for gapping at the back, especially if you're a leaner lifter. One of the other advantages this has is that there's no lever that gets in the way of your leg and causes bruising. So in conclusion, at 229 euros, this belt is perfect for those who want the simplicity of a prong belt, but the same level of support as a lever belt, and along with that, a fantastic fit. Next up, we have the SBD Lever Belt. Now this one is built like a tank, and the big feature here is of course the adjustable lever system, which allows you to adjust the tightness of the belt without having to use a screwdriver. And that makes it really practical. It's super useful for competitions where you don't have to bring a screwdriver, or if you've done a weight cut and you need to be able to adjust, or if you just use different holes per lift. This belt holds tight, feels secure, and is built to last. And overall, just a really solid belt, also one of the most popular ones on the market, but it does have a few downsides. First of all, it's really stiff, which for some people is definitely a plus, but for others can block them from getting into a good position in a sumo deadlift. Secondly, the lever sticks out quite a bit, which makes it dig into your leg if you're a lifter that has a forward lean during the squat. Thirdly, it's quite heavy and bulky, which can make it a bit of a hassle if you have to carry it around in your gym bag. And then lastly, of course, there's the price point. It's listed at 260 euros, which makes it one of the more expensive belts on the market. Nonetheless, the SBD belt is a premium belt with excellent quality, but not necessarily the best belt for everybody. Now, if you're looking for a belt that does everything the SBD belt does, but at a far better price, look no further than the Oni NX belt. This belt is built similar to the SBD belt, with a lever that can be inserted into multiple holes so that no screwdriver is needed. It has a simple design and the same degree of stiffness. And what's also nice is that the lever folds in a bit more over the belt, which makes it less likely that you're gonna run into the lever hitting your leg. I would say that the lever itself is not as fancy as that of SBD. It takes a little bit more practice to get it off easily, but at 155 euros, if that's the only downside, then that's still a damn good deal. And I would say that this is one of the best value for money options out there. We are finishing off with the newest belt on the market, the Oni Lever Belt Pro. And this is probably one of the most interesting belts available right now, because it's quite different from anything else. The main feature here is its carbon fiber lever, which is lighter than steel, but has been tested to withstand over 1,000 kilos of force. The idea here behind this belt is that it has the highest holding power out of any any of the lever belts on the market, and it gives an extremely locked-in feel. The buckle is very wide and thus has a large surface area, which gives it a lot of stability and holding power. It's got 3 quick adjustment slots, which makes it great for competition where you might want to tighten or loosen between attempts. And despite the larger buckle, it still feels light, which makes it feel less bulky than the SBD on deadlifts. The carbon buckle also comes in a fancy wooden box, which gives it a premium feel. The one downside that I have noticed with this belt is that the lever does come out quite a bit. So if you're a lifter that notices the lever come up against their leg, then you might want to look for something else. But if you're a really wide squatter, or if you squat really upright, then you'll probably have no issues. And at 300 euros, this is definitely a luxury product. And it's probably the most expensive belt on the market. And obviously, it's not for everybody, but if you're looking for something unique that is built to squeeze everything out of your lifts, this might be it. So as far as recommendations go, my favorite is the Wahlanders belt. I think it's just the best belt across the board. But if you just have to have a lever belt, then the SBD belt is a good option if you don't mind the bulk or the high price tag. But if you want a more budget-friendly belt, then the Oni NX belt is a great option. It does exactly the same things as the SBD belt does. And if budget is not a concern of yours, then go for the Oni Pro. Some quick sizing tips. Lever belt should feel snug, not painful, but tight enough to brace into. Prong belts are more adjustable. They're great if you fluctuate in weight, and they should still be tight, but not so tight where you can't expand your core. Need help picking the right size? Just shoot us a DM or send us an email and we'll be happy to walk you through it. That's it for this belt guide. If you want to grab yourself one of these belts, head over to powerliftingshop.com. They're IPF approved, comp ready, and tested by lifters at every level. Thanks for tuning in and see you in the next one.